Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today I would like to share with all of you in regards to the trademark filing process in Malaysia. I believe there are a lot of business owners out there, especially who would like to register their mark, register their logo, but doesn't know exactly how the process will look like, what the steps that needs to be taken for their mark to be registered. So here is the process flowchart of the trademark filing process in Malaysia that everyone can have access on the official portal of the Intellectual Property Corporation of Malaysia, or famously known as MIPO. But even if you can see this flowchart, it doesn't mean that you can understand what exactly the steps in the flowchart trying to say. So that's why I'm here to explain to all of you in more detail for each steps in this flowchart. So the first step in the trademark filing process is the filing trademark application. In this first step, what you gotta do is that you as an applicant, or maybe you hire an agent, you must state who are you, what is your mark, the name of your mark, the image of your mark, and most importantly, the kind of services that your business has provided. If you can see here, the kind of form that you need to use for this first step is that form TMA2. And it can be seen as well that there are two different kind of prices, which are 950 ringgit and 1,100 ringgit. If you can see at the note at the bottom of this flowchart, it has been said that 950 ringgit is for pre-approved list and 1,100 ringgit is without pre-approved list. What it means that when you want to fill the kind of services that your business has provided, if you use the pre-approved list that has been provided by the MIPO itself, you only have to pay 950 ringgit. But if you want to add the kind of services that has not been provided by MIPO, in other words, you want to add by yourself, not by pre-approved list, it means you want to add your own, the new one. So that means you have to pay extra, which is 1,100 ringgit. The second step is formality examination. In this step, the trademark examiner will look at whether there are any irregularities, errors, or mistakes in the filing process. In other words, in the form TMA2 that I've mentioned earlier. If it has been found out to be any mistakes, then the applicant will be given 2 months by the examiner to amend the said mistakes before it can be proceeded through the third step. After the amendment has been made, or if the applicant successfully complied with the formality examination, the third step is substantive examination. In this step, the examination is going to be on the mark itself, whether there is another similar trademark prior to it, or maybe it has contained anything that is not allowed to be in the trademark, such as the name of a place, a year, or someone's name. If the applicant failed to pass this examination, what the applicant can do is that he can prepare the written appeal or ex parte hearing, in which in this appeal and hearing, the applicant can provide all the evidence in regards to the usage of the trademark, such as promotion in any social media, or maybe the kind of support that he gets from the customers. After the written appeal or ex parte hearing has been made, or maybe the applicant has been originally successfully complied with the substantive examination, the fourth step is going to be publication in IP online journal. Here is IP online journal that everyone can have access on. In 2 months, the mark will be on the IP online journal. It's also the duration for any third parties to oppose for the registration of the mark. If there is an opposition by a third party but it has been refused, or maybe there is no opposition at all, then we can proceed to the fifth step, which is notice of registration. This notice of registration, it will be given by the MIPO itself to inform the applicant that the trademark has been successfully registered. Then, the sixth step, which is the last step, the applicant only needs to apply for a certificate of registration by using the form TMJ4 and by paying 50 ringgit. However, all the steps that I've mentioned earlier, if only you are able to go through this application smoothly and successfully. But what if you aren't able to go through this application smoothly? What if your amendment for the formality examination is not accepted. What if you can appeal or expect a hearing for the substantive examination is not accepted? What if there's someone opposed to your registration and their opposition is accepted? What will happen then? What happens is that your application will be refused. And if you are really insist to continue with your trademark application, trademark registration, what you gotta do is that you as an applicant can go to the appeal to the High Court to continue your application for trademark. So that's all for today's sharing. I hope all of you will gain more information and more knowledge about the trademark application in Malaysia, and I hope that you can have a successful trademark application. Bye!